When you're able to control a dog's impulse, it means that you are able to subdue its desire to take the lead so that it submits to your leadership and allows you to take the lead. So that's the first stage of it. And another important place to apply it is in taking the dog out for walks. So when your dogs come home, please, especially for the first 2 months, you should do regular walks with them to continue to develop the relationship. And when you are doing the walks, you should also have structure in the walks. So even before we leave the gate, there's structure. And the main structure is that every time we get to the gates, I'm going to expect him to sit. Good. All right, Enzo, sit. Yes, very good. And the technique that I use over here to encourage him to sit even when he's distracted is called leash pressure. Leash pressure means that when I need him to go into a sit, and for some reason, especially when we are outdoors, he is anticipating something or he's conscious about his surroundings and he's not really paying attention, but I need him to sit immediately. Then I tighten the collar by pulling the leash upward. You notice when I pull it, I get his attention. He lifts his head up. If he were standing, that would easily put him into a sit position. Come, good. So if he's standing like this and I do the same thing, his head lifts up and he goes into a sit. So that's how to use leash pressure. So with this technique, no treats. You're out there, you need your dog to sit. You say sit, your dog is not responding. You use leash pressure and your dog sits. And then you have a well-behaved dog right next to you. So what we're going to do is demonstrate how you walk out of the house. Come. Good boy. So I'm just going to come back to the same spot with Enzo. Very good. Just before we get to the gates, stop. Enzo, sit. Yes, very good. I didn't need leash pressure this time. When Enzo sits down, there needs to be enough space between us and the gate so that when I open the gate, it wouldn't bump into us. Because when that happens, then he's forced to get up. So make sure there's enough space between you two. Good boy. Good sit. Very good. Very good. Now I expect him to remain seated whilst I open the gate, like a good boy. So he's learned to stay and wait for the gate to open. And even when the gate opens, he doesn't get up. When the gate opens, that's another very high temptation for them to break free and then, move according to their own impulse. But then when you're able to get him to a point of surrender where even when the gate flings open, he stays put, then you have his impulse on a higher level of control. So now before we step out, I will again give the free command, just as I did when I was letting them out of the kennel. And then we can step out. And this level of composure that he's demonstrating over here is not just coming from learning this over here, but it's also coming from his experiences with how he comes out of his kennel. That's why it's important to practice that every single day. And when you add this every single day, all of these will apply to the same impulse control in other scenarios and other situations. So they are very, very important exercises. So now that we're ready to go out, I need his attention. Good boy. Very good, Enzo. All right, free. And then I give the free command and we're out. Good boy. Usually, I would like to close the gate together. So we come to the gate, then I get him to sit down. Sit. Very good. So he sits right next to me and he waits for me to shut the gate. And then when I'm done shutting the gate, then what happens? Enzo, are you ready? All right, free. Then we can take our walk. All right, let's go. All right, Enzo, come. Good boy, come here. Come. We are not walking yet. We'll walk later, okay? Come. Enzo is upset. He's saying, I thought we were going for a walk. Why are we coming back? Come here, good boy. So again, I'm going to let him sit down and wait for me to open the gate. Enzo, sit. Yes, very good. I use leash pressure to get him to sit because he's upset. He thought we were going for a walk. Then I swing it open. He remains in the seated position. And then I take the lead and let us in. First, I get his attention. Enzo, good boy. Free. Yes. And then we come in together. And it's calm and it's cool. And then, of course, we close the gates together as usual. Enzo, come. Come. Good boy. Good. Come here. Come closer. Come. He's upset. Come. Come. So I'll do a circle so that he gets to the exact spot I want him to be. And this is important. Sit. Yes, very good. Doing that circle to get him to the exact spot that I want him to be is very important, because when he was demonstrating that behavior, I could have easily said, oh, since he's sitting there, let me just leave him there and do this. But as soon as I say that, then I allow him to lead. And you don't want to instill that in his mentality. So instead of do that, I'd rather take him in a circle, do a full 360, and come back to the specific spot where I want him to sit and get him to sit. And that way he understands that no matter what, it's always a matter of my leadership. So now that he is seated, yes, good boy, very good. Close the gate. And as you realize, the entire time I'm busy closing the gate, he's still here. He doesn't move. He waits for me like a good boy. Very good. And once I'm done, I can free him. And when I free him, I'm taking him this way. I'm turning into my direction. We always turn into my direction, not into his direction, because the idea is I am taking the lead. When he masters it, then it's fine. You can go either way. But when you're teaching him, that's what you do. You instill it. All right, Enzo, free. Good boy. And then we go my way. I'm in the lead. All right, so just as I demonstrated with Enzo, I'm going to be demonstrating with Hugo as well. Very good. Very good. So, same thing. When you walk up to the gates, you want to make sure that his impulse is under control. You pause, you get him into a sit, either by persuading him if you have his attention, or by using leash pressure to help him. So let's try it again. Let me see whether, I'm going to get his attention enough to get him to sit, or I'll need to use leash pressure. And then we'll demonstrate either one. Come. Yes, very good. Come back this way. Good boy. Come here. Very good. All right, stop. Good. Sit. Yes, good. So I didn't need leash pressure with him. So now I have him in a sit position. I have ample space between us and the gate. I should be able to go to the gate, open it up. When it flings open, he should stay put, right? He shouldn't get up and then go outside, no matter the temptation. You should look up to me for leadership, and if I give the free command, then we go out together. Right, Hugo? Good boy. Very good. Free. Yes, very good. And that's how you walk out. And then when you're going to shut the gates, same thing. Let him help you. Come with him. Get him to sit. Usually when you're outside, you might need some leash pressure. Once he sits, shut the gate. Yes, good boy. And then when you are ready to go, you give the free command. Sit. When he gets up like this, I put him back into a sit before we move. Right? If he gets up and we start to move, he will get used to doing that. Yes, good boy. Very good. So now that he's in a sit, then we can move. All right, free. Good. Let's go. Very good. So yeah, again, because this is for the sake of demonstration, we're not actually taking a walk. So we'll demonstrate the coming back inside. So sit. Yes, good sit. Get him to sit. Wait for you. Open the gate. Fling it open so he can see it fling wide open. And once he's there like a good boy, then you free him. All right, free. Good, very good. Good boy. And then, of course, once you free him, you let him assist you. Yes, good boy, good sit. In closing the gates. And you notice he sits even without me asking him to whenever we come to a stop or when he feels slight leash pressure. Because the training is to encourage this behavior. When you're walking and you stop, you want him to stop like this with you. All right, good sit, very good. So we close the gate. I think I need to drop this because this is space is too long. Good boy, very good. So he stayed, excellent. And then now, as usual, when I free him, we turn in my direction and then we are on our way. Free. Very good.